Live from Utah's #1 news channel, this is KUTV 2 News at 10.
The pilot of a power paraglider killed after crashing through the roof of an LDS church. Good evening and thanks for joining us for 2 News at 10. Sunday morning services were soon to begin when it happened. A motorized paraglider spiraled above and then into the church building. Lisa Nico in Draper on our top story tonight. And Lisa, do we know what went wrong before the crash?
Police are still trying to piece that together, but right now they say the Bluffdale man somehow lost control over his PPG. They don't know if it had to do with the actual machine, with weather, or his experience, but ended up crashing into this LDS church here in Draper behind me. And now, while everyone is sad for the loss, those who knew him best say that the experienced pilot died doing what he loved.
It's a sense of loss, but Jim went out doing what he loved to do.
Early Sunday morning, Jim Peterson met Steve Howlett to go paramotoring.
Jim was one of us.
A sport they've enjoyed together for years.
We flew every chance we got.
Shortly before 9 a.m., something happened with the paramotorer. Peterson's craft dropped from the sky and into an LDS church on Traverse Point right before service.
Probably one time a month we'll respond to a hang glider accident.
Sergeant Chad Carpenter says they're still investigating the crash.
We're not sure exactly what happened to cause the crash. We're still working out those details.
With years of experience, Howlett doesn't know how the powered paraglider lost control.
Your vision will go black and white, and then you will black out. You can take it to that point yourself. The glider could also have possibly broken. That was probably fairly unlikely.
Whatever the case, Howlett says the tragedy won't keep him out of the sky.
Every year there's 1 or 2 people who unfortunately pay the ultimate price for the sport they love.
The crash happened right before services were about to start. The rest of meetings and services for today were canceled at this location. They're scheduled to resume again tomorrow. Back to you.
All right, Lisa Nico in Draper for us tonight. He was the first person charged in the investigation into former Attorneys General John Swallow and Mark Shurtleff. Tonight, Tim Lawson has died. Lawson was reportedly known as Shurtleff's fixer or enforcer. He had been facing witness tampering and obstruction of justice charges. His trial was set to begin next April. Salt Lake Trib reports Lawson had been receiving treatment at a hospital after developing a hole in his esophagus. Tim Lawson was 51. Funeral arrangements are pending. An arsonist tonight is at large. A person investigators think set a half-dozen fields on fire this morning along the Wasatch Front.
These are all very suspicious. This was all early in the morning. It wasn't very hot out yet. We're looking for any leads at this time.
2 of the fires were started in Draper, 2 others in Lehigh, and 2 more in Harriman. For a time, some homes were threatened today.
We got hoses, we got buckets. All of our children were out trying to help take out this fire.
Firefighters successfully protected the homes, put out all 6 fires. If you have any information on who may be responsible, you're asked to call Unified Fire Authority, the number 801-840-4000. Police investigating an afternoon shooting in Kearns today. Somebody trying to sell a car near 44th West and 48th South. During negotiations, police say a fight developed. The seller started to drive away when the buyer started shooting. Vehicle was hit at least once. Nobody hurt. Gunman not yet in custody. Not a gentle game of golf in Payson after a man stabbed another man on the city's golf course. The man accused of doing the stabbing, 61-year-old Lee Johnson, taken into custody. Police say he became frustrated with slow play by a group and stabbed one of the golfers, who has received treatment at a hospital. Guiding landmarks in Provo are no more tonight. Nostalgia surfaced as long-standing Provo City power smokestacks very quickly were brought down today. Wider, tighter, no matter the perspective.
It's kind of sad to see it come down.
In seconds, nearly 80 years of history fell early Sunday morning to a standing ovation. Built in the 1940s to burn coal for energy, the stack stood all of Kenneth Turpin's life.
It's a landmark. We see it about every day.
He did, along with countless others until now.
They mean a lot to me.
Paul Nance was also in the crowd, watching on Sunday.
As a young boy, my dad worked at the hospital.
When he drew near to the stacks, he knew Dad was close.
It's sad, but you know, they probably needed to come down.
If not this way, the stacks, it was feared, could be felled in an earthquake. No planning, no control, no noteworthy goodbye. Quite a picture this morning in Provo. The city has not used the stacks for decades, for a couple of decades. Power company says it has shifted to more renewable energy. Well, a utility problem in Salt Lake City today. Part of 4th West shut down because of a water line break. Water gushed through the street and flooded the road. Break shut off water to Club SLC, forcing it to cancel a brunch today.
It's really hard for customers to get in and out of the venue, so it's just a really big inconvenience, and we're all pretty bummed out because we're having a really good time here.
Took several hours to fix the pipe and repair the road in Salt Lake. Engines rev today in honor of Utah's fallen police officers. An estimated more than 6,000 bikers gathering at Timpanogos, Harley, and Linden for the 10th annual ride. They went from Linden to the state capitol. This year's ride honors the family of Doug Barney, a unified police officer who also did security work here at Channel 2 and who was killed in the line of duty in Holiday.
It's a hard thing to lose loved ones and officers in the line of duty. So this is a good event for everybody from all walks of life to support them.
There was a service today in front of the memorial to fallen officers. Some people came as far away as Oregon and Colorado for the ride and ceremony. Politics tonight, campaign 2016. Top Republican officials say Donald Trump back on track after a series of controversies.
This was the best week, I think, so far in the Trump campaign, mostly because he's able to be himself, the authentic Donald Trump, but also the pivot that he's made is on substance.
Trump still faces an uphill climb. A CBS News battleground tracker poll shows Hillary Clinton ahead by 6 points in Ohio. Both Clinton and Trump are even in Iowa, 40 apiece. Clinton and Trump now discussing the debate schedule. Trump has concerns with the debates going up against NFL football games. In Florida, an expectant mom is moving out of state because of concerns over Zika.
And he comes first, and same with this baby. And I want to give that baby the chance that he had, you know, to be healthy and have a good life.
If we have to move away and separate for 6 months, I mean, it's, you know, pennies in the long run.
Gigi Maines is now headed to Virginia. She'll stay there with family until her child is born. Her husband will stay in Florida for the next few months. Gigi says she'll move back to the Sunshine State after she gives birth. World news, a day of mourning after a suicide bomber killed 50 at a wedding party in Turkey. The blast shattered glass, took out chunks of concrete from buildings. The groom's sister and uncle are among the dead. Police say the attacker was between 12 and 14 years old. Turkey's prime minister says ISIS is responsible. LDS church leaders dedicated a new temple in Japan today. President Russell M. Nelson of the Quorum of the 12 presided over this ceremony. He helped place cement into the building's cornerstone. Children from the audience were also invited to participate. The temple is in Sapporo and is the church's third in Japan. The temple had been in the works since 2009. Starting this week, more than 8,000 Mormons living in Japan will be able to use the temple. And special anniversary for the Greek Orthodox Church in Price. It's now 100 years old. Church was founded by Greek immigrants who were working in the mines. It's undergone some remodeling over the years, but remains largely the same. Officials say the church was the 13th Greek Orthodox church to be built in the United States. Well, still ahead tonight. Here for you on 2 News at 10. He's a former U.S. Senator, former Salt Lake City Mayor, and he had an unforgettable ride on the space shuttle. Person to Person with Jake Garn, right after the break. And a missing 100-year-old pet tortoise wandered several miles away from home. Owners may have been shell-shocked, but not anymore. That's still ahead.
Plus, Utah was a state divided today. Southern Utah, scattered showers and thunderstorms, but up north, smoky sunshine and hot temperatures. I'll let you know where this smoke is coming from, how long it sticks around, and when we could see a few thunderstorms here along the Wasatch Front next.
Nice shot of SoCal tonight. Southern California looking great, the lights of the city. It's gorgeous, but we also have a great evening going up here too. 81 degrees right now at 1013 in Salt Lake City. The heat came back today. How about tomorrow? What about those overnight temps? Cool last night, but we have some more AC nights ahead. Lindsay's along in just a couple of minutes here on 2 News at 10 o'clock. Welcome back, everybody. So glad you're with us. Jake Garn, former U.S. Senator, former Salt Lake City Mayor. He's also been to outer space. He sat down with Shauna Lake, and we revisit the interview tonight in Person to Person.
Senator Garn has led a busy life, and his next adventure is retirement. In talking with him, it's clear he has two big passions, flying and family.
What is your legacy like for you at 84 years old and the life that you live now?
Well, I just feel, looking back, amazingly fortunate that the people of Utah gave a little kid from Richfield such amazing opportunities to be mayor of Salt Lake City, United States Senator, and then to have the opportunity to be a military pilot and an astronaut. It's just, even in hindsight, I look back and think, wow.
Are you surprised that that was the path that your life led you on?
Well, absolutely surprised, because I had no intentions of getting involved in politics.
You were a senator for many, many years, but you were also Salt Lake City mayor.
Yes.
Right? Which did you enjoy more?
Well, I actually enjoyed being mayor because of the close involvement you had with the people. I always felt that was such an advantage to me in the Senate, that having such an understanding of local government was so valuable to me while I was in the Senate.
Your dad was a big influence on you as a kid.
Absolutely, because back in those days, before World War II, where did you find someone whose father was a pilot? He got his wings 14 years after the Wright brothers flew. Was the first native-born Utahn to ever hold a pilot's license, and Utah's first director of aeronautics in 1937. And so I had to be a pilot like Daddy.
Tell me about the passion of aviation.
Well, even after all these years and more than 14,000 hours of pilot time, I still love to fly.
One, lift off.
Not just flying, but to have had the opportunity to be an astronaut and see this entire planet is so amazing, because I'd never been out of the state of Utah until I was 19 years old.
So what is that like to have been an astronaut and to have seen space in a way that very few people will ever experience that?
Well, it's an absolutely life-changing experience, because when you've been able to see the entire planet, you realize how ridiculous it is, all the wars we've had, and the artificial differences we create. What difference does it make what language you speak or the color of your skin? We're all children of God traveling on Spaceship Earth together, and we ought to treat each other a lot better than we do.
Talk about when you're up there and you're literally orbiting the Earth.
Well, it's an amazing experience, first of all, to be weightless, that you can be floating in the air and go like that and blow yourself back across the cabin. In fact, I'll never forget the first time I sneezed, I did a reverse loop back over the top.
Tell me about your family. How many children?
7.
7 children. You lost your wife, your first wife.
Yes.
She died, what did she die from?
In an automobile accident.
In an automobile accident. So you had how many children?
4.
At home at that time, and what were their ages?
3 teenagers and a 10-year-old.
Wow.
So incredibly difficult to lose your mother when you're a teenager and
of course
10 years old. But they've all done extremely well. And my second wife and current wife, she had a little boy who was 4, and we had 2 of ours. But she's done such an amazing job. They're all one family. You never hear half-brother or sister. That does not exist.
So you only have one child that doesn't live in Utah.
Well, she married our family doctor back in McLean, Virginia while I was in the Senate, and never came home from Washington. But she became a diabetic when she was 8 years old, and as a result of that diabetes, lost her kidneys. And so decades ago, I donated my left kidney to her. A lot of people were saying, well, Senator, why would you do something like this? I said, what a stupid question. This is my daughter. This is my child, and I'm the best match for her. Why wouldn't any father do that for their child? And to think this is my little girl that I was able to so dramatically improve her life by donating a kidney. To me, it's the most important thing I've ever done in my life.
And so you've done so many incredible things. Where does family fall in that for you?
Oh, absolutely first. There's no doubt about it. Whatever else I've achieved in my life, particularly as you grow older, how even it continues to increase of the love of your family, your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and to look at their accomplishments and see how they grow and develop, and it's really an incredible experience.
So nice to get to know you person to person, Senator. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We have more with Senator Garn and his thoughts on the state of politics today on our website, KUTV.com. You can find Person to Person under Features there. Person to Person here on 2 News at 10 is Sunday nights. It's sponsored by Rocky Mountain Chevy. He walked away from politics when he likely could have won another term, Lindsay. A lot of people, I think, respect that, and saw him, well, within the last year. He looks terrific.
Great.
Just
really in great condition.
Yeah, he looked great in the interview.
Yeah.
He's got some amazing stories.
He really does.
The kid from Richfield.
Yeah.
Did a lot of incredible stuff.
Fun guy to talk to,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
hot again today.
It was. Mid-90s we're back, but we had a cool start to the morning. Started out the day at 63 degrees, which is about where we should be for the end of August. 95 though, our high temperature this afternoon, 5 above the normal. The other thing we were dealing with here in northern Utah were smoky skies, especially during the morning hours. We saw a little relief, a little improvement in the air quality during the afternoon and evening hours, but man, we had quite a bit of smoke yesterday and early today. We've been pulling in smoke from those fires across Idaho as well as the Pacific Northwest. We had a northwesterly flow in place, which was just pushing all that smoke into northern Utah. Winds have now shifted just a little bit. Notice here on the satellite how the clouds are moving from southwest to northeast. Our flow is now coming from the southwest, and that's why we've seen a little bit of improvement as far as air quality is concerned. It's not perfect by any means because we have fires burning down here as well. So any direction that we bring the winds from, we're going to pull in a little bit of smoke, but we have seen some slight improvement throughout the day today. We won't get rid of the smoke completely until about Wednesday when our next cold front moves in and brings some cleaner air. Down towards southern Utah, your big story today has been scattered showers and thunderstorms. The monsoon moisture has made a return back toward the south. Saw a few of those scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly south of I-70 today. A line of thunderstorms rolled through St. George about 45 minutes to an hour ago. Still seeing some light showers, but the heaviest stuff has moved off toward the southwest. So here's future track. With that southwesterly flow that I mentioned, we're going to start pulling this moisture up toward the north. So pretty quiet tonight. The few showers that we still have out there right now should come to an end by about midnight or shortly after that. Then tomorrow, especially in the afternoon and evening, these showers and thunderstorms start to pop again, and we could see some here across the Wasatch Front. I've put in a slight chance for a few isolated thunderstorms during the afternoon and evening hours. Those showers and thunderstorms come to an end Monday night, but then they're back again on Tuesday, and then drier air comes in on Wednesday. So here's a look at the forecast for tomorrow. Hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. Best chance for rain will still be south of I-70. That's where most of the moisture is in place, so that's where we're going to see the majority of the showers and thunderstorms. 77 in Blanding, 91 degrees tomorrow in Lake Powell. Bryce Canyon at 72, Kanab up to 82 degrees tomorrow. 80s and 90s across west central Utah, hit and miss showers and thunderstorms here. Just isolated thunderstorms across the Wasatch Front. They'll be few and far between, most of them in the mountains, but one or two could roll off into adjoining valleys. In St. George, scattered showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow as well as Tuesday. We get that little weak cool front that I mentioned moving in late Tuesday and into Wednesday, and that'll bring in some drier air for about a day or two, but then we get another little storm, or at least the possibility of a little storm late in the work week and early next weekend. Model's not agreeing really well on this storm, so we're just going to keep it up in the air for right now. Tune into the forecast throughout the week, and we'll continue to fine-tune it with that late week storm. As of right now, though, it does look like we'll see another round of scattered showers and thunderstorms late in the week. 69 degrees for our overnight low here in Salt Lake City, so a little warmer than it was early this morning. By afternoon, partly cloudy skies, isolated thunderstorms, basically a repeat on Tuesday. That cool front moves in Tuesday night and Wednesday, drops our temperatures down into the mid-80s. We could see overnight lows falling into the upper 50s on Wednesday night and Thursday morning, so that'll be a cool start. Then that possibility of a storm Friday and Saturday, bringing a few scattered showers and thunderstorms into the forecast, drying out again on Sunday.
Speaking of cool, do you want to tell our friends what you did in your car today?
I turned on the heater. It was 5 a.m.
Yeah. Yes.
It was cool. It was 63
degrees.
This girl has gotten used to 75 degrees when I walk out that early in the morning. It was cool.
So you turned up the
no
heater.
Shame. No shame.
For how long? How long is the heater on?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Just enough to make it comfortable.
Right. In the middle of August. Well, towards the end of August. We'll let you off this time. Good job. You're the first, perhaps.
Somebody's got to be.
Somebody's got to be.
Might as well be
one.
me.
Yep. Number one again. Coming up here on 2 News at 10 o'clock tonight. Google test flying kites in part of Northern California. More on how the kites might help our environment. That's in just a few minutes. David always striving for perfect balance. Tonight he has Ute and BYU football.
And more than just that. That's right. Tonight on Talking Sports, he started making big plays late last night. Now, this Ute receiver is ready to help turn the throw game around, even if you don't recognize him.
I gotta look good for my girlfriend. No, I'm just kidding. I grew it out and I gave it to charity. I've done it a couple times. This time I think I'll keep it short. That's why I asked you. I needed some makeup too.
Ute tight end Harrison Hanley and Cougar punter Johnny Linehan are talking football tonight. So is Weber coach Jay Hill. The season's almost here. We got the AP Top 25. Plus, he's won on tour. He's been top 23 times in majors. Former Utah State Amateur champ Tony Finau is talking PGA Tour tonight on Talking Sports. We have Team USA chasing Olympic gold and a college coach lighting up his team while giving us the bite of the week. Brian, more on Talking Sports in a couple of minutes.
Okay, David. We'll see you then. Thank you. Coming up on 2 News at 10, friends for decades suddenly separated. And thanks to social media, they are back together again. The very old tortoise returns home. Still ahead.